this is Taylor Cameron with Cutthroat Marketing, your Google Business Professor, here to help you optimize your Google Business Profile. In our last video, we went through the process of editing your business profile along with your services or products. If you have not completed those steps, please go back to that video to make sure you didn't miss anything important in the editing of your Google Business Profile. There are a few things that I find really helpful to have ready to go before you start. So those items are, number one, a written description of your business. Number two, a list of the services your business offers, and ideally short descriptions of each of those. Written content about who you are and what you do that we can put on a free landing page that Google gives you. And then lastly, having your logo file as well as a header image for that free webpage are really great to have front and center. Okay, so if you've gotten this far, then you have done a huge part of editing your profile. So the next step for a really complete optimization is utilizing the web page that they give you for free. So when we go to edit profile, depending on your profile is going to depend on what you see here, okay? But when you come to the website spot, I want you to click on it. And then in this case, we can see you have a website created because I had popped in here and looked at it earlier. But it might also show you an option that says create web page. And I'm also going to tell you that there's a glitch on a lot of accounts where this doesn't show up at all. If this is not showing at all, then take your primary website, delete it, hit save, and then when you go back in, it should now give you this option. Okay, so once you have this option here, use it. We're going to go in and take a look at it right now. So when you first go into the web page, it's going to look kind of sad because there's not going to be a lot of information on it. It just kind of plugged in information that it knows based on what you filled out on your profile. So it tells you them it's an insurance agency, it has the hours, it defaulted to get a quote, okay, which get a quote is not always helpful depending on what type of business you are. And then when you scroll down here, you're going to see different things, okay? So we have a heading of your page. Here is where you have a header photo and updates. So once you start posting to your account, those will show up here. Testimonials, talk about that later, but once you get reviews, okay, we'll have that here. And about us. This is the section right here. This is what we're about to work on. This is where we want to put a lot of content talking about your company, what you do, all that stuff. You ultimately want to treat this as if it's a website, like your actual website, whether it is or not. Even if you have a much nicer, bigger website, we still want to get the point across here since this feeds directly into Google, okay? So I recommend really trying to do the best you can on this. And here's what we're going to start with. So right over here on this left side, if you click themes, you can look and pick the one you like the best. They don't have a lot of options. All it's going to do is change your colors and your font over here. Okay, so you can kind of look through and decide which one you think looks the best. When I mentioned having a header photo ready, it was for this exact purpose. So I do have one ready, and this is what it looks like. This was one that Downing Insurance Partners created, which looks really good actually. And based on the colors of this header photo, I'm just gonna look through and see which theme looks best. So we have this dark blue one, this dark blue one, and then this blue that kind of goes with this. So I'm a little bit torn. I'm thinking I'm going to go with this one, but we might change that up later. But for now, we're going to click this little checkbox right there to say done. The next thing we're going to look at is edit. So there is a button on the top of the page right here that says get quote. You can customize this to say call now, contact us, get quote, make appointment, message us, or message us on WhatsApp. It's really kind of up to you. I really try to either do call now or contact us. Or if you do have a page directly for someone to fill out to get a quote, that might be a really good option. So in this case, it's very possible that that is a good way to go. But I think for right now, I'm going to do call now. Keep in mind that it's going to show you where you're going to get phone calls, or in the contact us, it's going to send an email to me. Well, I don't want this email to come to me. It's going to go to all owners and managers. So once I pull myself off this account, it will only go to Downing Insurance Partners. And it's very possible that they would prefer to get an email. So we can see how they want the traffic driven. But again, right now I'm just going to do call now. And this is where I had an advantage of knowing that I needed all of this, right? So I have this information ready to go. And again, in our blog, I'll go ahead and make sure that you get information. So the first thing I have right here is the headline. And I have decided that we're going to use this for our headline. And then I have a short 140 characters is the max. If you are using Google, your Google Drive and using Google Docs or anything like that, or even Microsoft Word, you can actually have this count your words for you. It's very cool. You can go up to tools and you can do word count, and then it'll tell you your number of characters and your number of words. You can also do Control-Shift-C to see the same thing. So this is what I do so that when I'm preparing, I'm ready to go and I don't have to get in here and go, oh no, it doesn't fit, now what? So once we have our headline, description, and header in, the next section is the summary body. This one does not have a limit on characters or words, so you can put as much content as you want. My suggested content is a paragraph at the beginning that just kind of summarizes up what your company does, the services you offer, why do you want someone to work with you? And then I like to take those primary services that we used over in the service descriptions and write some longer content about them. I think it's really great when you pose a question and then you're able to answer that question, right? So in this case, tired of shopping around for the best car insurance rates. Here's why we make this easy for you, okay? And we answer that question. And again, we're gonna try to use different phrases to make it stand out to Google with different options that people look for. Because one person might say auto insurance, and another person might say car, and another might say automotive. So, we might wanna have these different phrases worked in. That way Google keeps understanding what we're doing. And at this point, if you already have it written, you can copy and paste. I like to do a section at a time just because of how I typically work. You can copy the entire thing. I'll show you why I don't like that though. I don't like copying the entire thing because see how this is giving me my spaces, which I like. If you just paste it in normally, it squishes it all together and I hate that. So the little trick is I like to copy. And then instead of just right-clicking paste, if you do Control-Shift-V, it's going to paste it and it's going to keep the formatting of what was there before. And you can just make your little titles bold if you want to. It's up to you how you format this. You could do bullets, you could do paragraphs, you really can do whatever works for you. And you can look and see how it looks on the page to see if you like it. That being said, there's not a lot of options that they offer other than bold, italic, underlined, a link, or a list. I do really like the links. I will tell you that. I think the links are really important because you can then link to your website. So in the case of Downing Insurance Partners, this is their website because they are a partner of Colorado Insurance. So they ultimately want people to go to buy Colorado Insurance. And there's start a quote and already a client on here. So what we might want to do is for the start a quote, let's see what that looks like. Oh yeah, that goes right to a quote form. I'm going to copy the web address up here. And I'm thinking we have a spot right here where it says get a free quote. So let's go ahead and paste in that link so that people have the option, if they were to read this, to go straight to the quote page. And you could do this with different ways. We could also use this one because this is a nice welcome looking page. I like how it has the buttons and that kind of thing. So we could use this in another section and just keep kind of giving options to link back to your main primary website, especially if you have a website for services that you offer that you just paid somebody to build. Linking to each of those service pages is a really, really good idea. So that way you are getting as much traffic to your true website as possible and just letting this kind of supplement you. All right, so once you finish all this, and as you can see, I have a little more to go. So I'm gonna come back and finish this after because I don't need to keep you here. But once you have all of your information in and you have it formatted like you like it, go ahead and hit the check mark. And I would honestly probably encourage you to hit the check mark frequently throughout the process because it does not autosave. And if you are typing straight into this and you have not typed it onto a doc and copied it like I have, there's a good chance you're going to lose your stuff. Okay. So that is one suggestion. And now that I've put in this content here, you're going to see over here that we have our headline, right? Our description. And when we scroll down, here's where we have all of the information about this company. All right. So the other items on here are the gallery, and the gallery is going to be any photos you upload. And you can see where they did try uploading some before, and you can always upload some more. So you can click right over here on photos and you can upload them to here. The more option tells you the next major step. Once you have this all completely done, okay, you're going to click publish. And since I'm going to finish putting the content in today, I'm going to go ahead and click publish because I want you to see what it looks like. So once you publish, congratulations, it's done. This is now the web address of your Google Business profile, okay? So if you want to copy that for any reason, you can. You can then click View Site, and this is what it looks like live. So now you know exactly what it looks like. If this is going to be your only website, you have a couple of really cool options. So for example, up here at the top, you'll see it's defaulting to Cutthroat Marketing, which we don't want to connect it to. But you can up here change it. So if you wanted it to say something else, you have an option to change what your site address is. And this would not be there unless you were already logged in and connected to a website like I am, but it would give you options to buy a domain name for only $12 a year. So if you're just starting out and you can't afford a really large website that you want, but you need something to get started, this is a really inexpensive way to get things started and still be able to send people to a simple.com website. So this is this really was one of the largest parts of optimizing your account. To leave, you can literally just click the X up there and we can go right back to our profile. Anytime you want to get back into this, again, you click Edit Profile. You're going to go to where the website is and you're going to click Manage. If for some reason you wanted to use this website, the Google Business website that is on your profile instead of your primary website, you would just click the link and it will fill it in for you. All right, so those are the top 3 ways that we optimize a Google Business account.